Leo Gerard, the international president of the United Steelworkers, USW.org, on the line with us. President Gerard, welcome to the program.
Thanks. Great to be on. I'm a big fan.
Well, thank you, and I of you and your work. And in fact, I think the first union my dad ever joined was the United Steelworkers. He was later with the machinists for 40 years. The Dunkirk, Waterloo, fill in the blank metaphor is being used to describe what's happening in Wisconsin right now and how the response to that is spreading to state houses all across the United States. What's your take on what's going on right now?
I think, first of all, last night in what is reality, the dark of night, in less than 30 minutes, 18 Republican members of the Wisconsin Senate abolished 50 years of workers' rights, 50 years of fairness, 50 years of justice. And I think when you see what's going on across the Republican-held states, that they in many ways hoodwink people into voting for them as a result of the elections in 2010. What you're actually seeing is an open declaration of class war. When you've got state governors after governor giving tax breaks to billionaires and millionaires, cutting payments and transfer payments to support public education while they're giving tax breaks to the rich to go to private schools. I think what you've seen, Tom, is a complete declaration of war on working people in this country, not just trade unionists as well as ordinary folks. When you look at the transfer cuts, when you look at Walker, who is going to be able to sell power plants, and he, in fact, has got the part of the University of Wisconsin up for sale.
Yeah.
I mean, this is craziness, and I think it's class war. And as I said today at a rally in Indianapolis, if they want to have class war, they've got more to lose than us. We've lost almost everything. They've been beaten on workers for the last 30 years since Patco.
Yeah, Reagan really declared this war, although you could argue that it started in 47 with Taft-Hartley, but then they kind of went quiet. I mean, even Eisenhower was the 56 Republican platform said we support organized labor, but when Reagan came in, it went on steroids. Here is what one of the leaders of the Republican Senator Scott Fitzgerald, had to say about what will happen if these guys are successful. Listen to this.
If we win this battle and the money is not there under the auspices of the unions, certainly what you're going to find is President Obama is going to have a much more difficult time getting elected and winning the state of Wisconsin.
Is it conceivable, Leo Gerard, that at one of these Koch brothers or whatever, retreats, that a bunch of guys sat around and said, okay, or Karl Rove or whatever, how do we beat Obama? Okay, the first thing we have to do is destroy his shoe leather base, and to some extent his financial base in the unions. And so let's do it in the first year after the election, because people's memories are not long, and the 2012 elections are still 18 months away or whatever it is. Let's do it now, and bang, they're doing it in state house after state house. Could this really all be about 2012, and the privatization of things is just icing on the cake?
I think it's not only probable, I think it actually happened, and I'm institutionally arrogant enough to believe it happened before the election. It happened when you had justices like Scalia and Thomas showing up at the Koch retreats. I've been around long enough. I didn't fall off a cabbage truck. When you're hanging out together and you socialize together, and you figured out that if you get a case to the Supreme Court, they're going to be on your side, to be able to say unlimited amount of money and to not even have to declare where that is. They use that money. They created the teabag movement in the summer with that money, with institutions that popped up all over the place that we never heard of 6 months before. And they drove that thing off the cliff. Now they're in control in many industrial states, and they're going to try to roll the clock back. And I think they're going to be surprised. I'm in Indiana right now, and I'm just leaving a rally where there was 32,000 people, the largest rally they've ever had in Indianapolis, Indiana. There's going to be, they're predicting 150,000 people in Madison, Wisconsin, including farmers who are taking tractor rides down the highways. We see in 50 states, in 50 state capitals, there's going to be events coming up. I think what they've done is not only woken up the labor movement, but they've woken up working people to say enough is enough.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you there. Last night on Rachel Maddow's program, Howard Feynman suggested that this is a ploy to incite protesters, that, this provocation in Wisconsin, that the reason that they pulled this vote out of the hat at the last minute was to try to incite violence, which could then be used so that the Republicans could sit around, like Richard Nixon used to, about anti-Vietnam War protesters, and say, "See, I told you so. They're a bunch of violent anarchist commies." What do you think?
I don't think, Tom, that's going to happen. As I said, I've been to a number of these in the last 3 weeks. I was in the State House in Madison, and I've never seen anything like it. The young people, old people, men, women had signs up to respect. At 10 o'clock at night, they would evacuate one floor and they'd clean the floor. The police were shaking hands with people and even now in Madison last night, the police said they weren't going to keep people out of the people's house, and they quit guarding the doors on Walker, and the place was full up last night.
Yeah.
And I think they would like to provoke violence, but after 3 weeks in state capital after state capital, where everything's been peaceful and everything has been articulately explained about why they're doing it, if there's violence now, we'll know that it's the folks behind and people like them that are provoking it.
So where do we go from here as a movement? I mean, I'm encouraging people to get over to wisdems.org and contribute money to the Wisconsin Democratic Party so that they can help with the recall effort, for example. I'm concerned in Indiana. Mitch Daniels is bragging that he did this last year and he's already knocked out 80% of the state government employees no longer rejoining the union because the union no longer has the ability to do anything for them. Where do we go from here? Is it just we need to wake up as many people as possible and the process will become organic?
I think wherever we can. I think the process is already organic. As I say, I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana today, and you see people of every age, every ethnic background, every race, every economic background. You see farmers, you see steel workers, you see public sector workers, and I think people are waking up. And I think what we do now in the short term, where we can, we start recalls. And where the recall doesn't have it, we look at whatever legal options we have to start looking at how to replace these people. As one of the state senators says from Wisconsin, we need to take back the political process, and we need to replace them with feet instead of money. We got more people on our side than they have money. We got to knock on every door, make every phone call. And I think what's happened, Tom, is that what Walker and these governors have done is they've really given people who are frustrated and angry a chance to redirect that frustration and anger this time where it should be. We bailed out billionaires on Wall Street. I mean, God, the Bank of America this morning when I was driving to the airport announced that they're expecting to make $35 billion with a B dollars of profit. Yeah. Last year they got a tax rebate. They paid out billions of dollars in bonuses. Why the hell aren't we fighting with them? Why are you picking on people who plow our streets and pick up our sanitation and take care of our kids and take care of our parents in the hospital? We're picking on what we have is the Republicans picking on the victims.
Yeah, and the U.S. Uncut movement is taking them on, although it's getting no press, virtually no press in the corporate media. These big banks, I mean, that's a real challenge. But you're absolutely right. I mean, it was the banksters who started this thing and brought it all down, and it's like nobody wants to talk about that, particularly any Republicans.
Yeah, and look, I think the more we talk about it, the more the public is, they know it intuitively. Yeah. And now they're getting to see it factually. Yeah. They're getting to see when we've got 5,000 people in a state capitol and people are cleaning the floors themselves. People are protecting the marble in the hood themselves. They're making sure they got the right kind of tape that isn't going to damage it. And what they're seeing is that the scam of sort of union thugs and bullies has just always been that. When they see that we're standing together for ordinary folks, when they see that we're pointing the finger where it is. I mean, why the heck should a woman or a man who's a nurse not have a chance to sit down and bargain about how many patients they're going to have to take care of? Right. It's about the quality of care. I mean, as I said one time on radio, I raised 2 kids and I've got 2 granddaughters, or 2 grandkids. When I get my 2 daughters and my 2 grandkids together and I got to be taking care of them all day long, I get tired. Imagine having to do 25 or 35.
Yeah.
You know? Our teachers are not only taking care of our kids, they're educating them.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And this is our future that is in their hands. And these guys want to take an axe to them. Rick Perry down in Texas, now even more so. Big article about that in today's Financial Times. Leo Gerard, the international president of the United States.
The interesting thing about Rick Perry, they don't have public sector bargaining. They're anti-union,
right.
Yet they've got the highest deficit per capita in the country and the highest rate of pollution in the country.
You're absolutely right. And the bottom of the schools. Leo Gerard, usw.org. Thank you, sir.